Hare Krishna. The devotees will continue our discussion. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Gita, chapter number 2, text number 20. न ध्यायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्यं यजो नित्या शाश्वतोऽयं न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. For the soul there is neither birth nor death at any time. He has not come into being, is not coming into being, will not come into being, is unborn, ever existing and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain. Purport. Qualitatively, the small atomic fragmental part of the Supreme Spirit is one with the Supreme. He undergoes no changes like the body. He is subject to 6 kinds of transformation. It takes its birth from the womb of the mother's body, remains for some time, grows, produces some effects, gradually dwindles, and at last vanishes into oblivion. The soul, however, does not go through such changes. The soul is not born, but because it takes on a material body, the body takes its birth. The soul does not take birth there, and the soul does not die. Anything which has birth also has death. And because the soul has no birth, it therefore has no past, present, or future. He is eternal, ever existing, and primeval. That is, there is no trace in history of his coming into being. Under the impression of the body, we seek the history of the birth of the soul. The soul does not at any time become old as a body does. The so-called old man therefore feels himself to be in the same spirit as in his childhood or youth. The changes to the of the body does not affect the soul. The soul does not deteriorate like a tree, nor anything material. The soul has no product either. The byproducts of the body, namely children, are also different individual souls. And owing to the body, they appear as children of a particular man. The body develops because of the soul's presence. But the soul has neither offshoots nor changes. Therefore, the soul is free from 6 changes of the body. We'll stop here. We'll read the later part in the next classes. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupaka Dhamaya Adhati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Yoga Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pungam langayate girim yat kripa tamaham bande Shri Guru Dina Tarinam. Hare Krishna. So, Lord so mercifully is giving us the details about the soul. He further explains about how soul would stay Where he's telling, for the soul there is neither birth nor death. He has not come into being and will not come into being. He cannot be killed, cannot be slain, will not come into being. It is unborn, eternal, ever existing, everlasting. No, dear devotees, when we actually see this analysis from the Lord, now the reason why he's bringing this up is also very important at this particular instance. Because Arjuna is thinking that all these personalities are technically bodies at this particular instance only, because he's been kept in that state. He's forgetful of what he has perceived before. Dear devotees, don't we feel this? We actually feel this. For example, let me tell you something. We hear that Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsara are the anarthas, and then these anarthas are actually troubling us. Exactly, they trouble us. How do they trouble? They trouble through the mind. They trouble through the intelligence. They trouble through the senses. Because all these anarthas are actually the sitting places of these senses, sitting places of this mind, sitting places of this intelligence, sitting places of this false ego. So when these things are kept at all of these locations, wherever we are exposed to the material nature, either through the senses, we might be exposed to the material nature. How? Because senses will be allured by seeing something. Senses will be allured by feeling something. Because that feeling goes to the mind, that feeling goes to the intelligence. And immediately it will trigger a notion that this is the source to enjoy. So what is happening? No doubt before that we have heard that we are not this body but a powerful spirit soul. No doubt we have heard that no, I am part and parcel of the Lord. Mamevamsho Jivaloke. Krishna is also telling here. The soul cannot be killed, cannot be burnt. The soul has an eternal relationship. Soul cannot be put to death. Dear devotees, when we actually do our activities or any action, we don't think about this. Do we think about this? We don't. Just like Arjuna was been kept in that state is actually the state of conditioning. Please understand. Which he is representing us. To represent us, he accepted that position. Please understand. Arjuna is not in that state. He's a pure soul. That's why Krishna is personally interacting with him. Krishna has personally chosen Arjuna. Just like spiritual master personally chooses certain devotees to do certain services. They choose. How? That's so they want to give the mercy to that person. No doubt the devotee is definitely qualified to receive that. But it is the mercy of the spiritual master to give that. Likewise, Arjuna is actually being chosen the devotees in this instance. So the instance where he has kept him in that particular state represents the state of conditioning. Doesn't mean that Arjuna doesn't know that he's not, that all these personalities are not this body but a powerful spirit. He has realized also. But at that moment, he has kept in that state. Now, when the conditioned soul is in that state, which represents us, when the conditioned soul is represented through that state where the problem of conditioning is so deepened, now that representation of conditioning doesn't mean that we are also kept just like Arjuna was been kept. No, we cannot perceive, we cannot take that. Because our conditioning is continuous, life after life. Life after life, it is our desire to enjoy independent of the presence of the Lord that kept us, that gave us this platform. It is who aspired it? For example, we all wanted to go to US. Who aspired for it? It is we or our parents. Somebody inspired us, somebody motivated us, somebody told us you should go there. For might be higher education or to work. We've been given that state, right? That means what is happening here? The state which we have perceived or the situation we've been kept, either today or yesterday or in the previous life, we desired for that. Please understand. Today, yesterday or day before yesterday or in our previous life, we have desired those things that through those desires, we are actually reaping those results right now. Now, how is all that happening? Through the presence of soul. That means the soul who is actually there, the soul is actually desiring. Please understand. Now, that is why Shiva Prabhupada says the consciousness or the perception of the soul has to be changed. Please understand. The consciousness or the perception of that particular soul has to change. Because if the soul consciousness or perception is not changed, then none of these things will actually make any effect. We might say, no, we are not this body but a powerful spirit. So I can say, yes, I'm not this body but a powerful spirit. But if my heart and heart I do not have or it have a desire to actually develop or really follow those steps which we are actually hearing, then these things cannot be perceived in our consciousness. Very, very important. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was actually meeting Prakashananda Saraswati. Prakashananda Saraswati is a person who follows impersonalism. Impersonalism means the process of meditation, the process of dhyana. That is called as impersonalism. Because what is that? That process is not complete spirituality. It is spirituality. It is not fully spiritual. Just like a child is studying first grade. That doesn't mean that he is in PhD. Or that doesn't mean that he completed his 10th grade. For example, if he completes PhD, that represents that his education is complete. I'm just giving an example from a material perspective. Or masters, or bachelors, whatever we have, whatever we want to name it. But if the child is only in 10th grade, does it mean that his education is complete? No. Exactly. The school of impersonalism is also like that. Studying 10th grade. It's not complete spiritualism. Because complete spiritualism is manifested when a personal relationship is established with the Lord. that is why they name, through the process of initiation, they name as Neela Govinda Das. Sibal Gopal Das, Baldev Seva Das, Balram Sarup Das. What is all this? These are all the names. Now, what is that indicating? It is telling that, oh, my dear Jiva, I don't know since how many lifetimes we've been here. After so many lifetimes, we got this opportunity that somehow this life you've been demanded dasa. And that dasa is a real natural identity. Please understand. And that real identity, we have to work on that. That means this is PhD. Oh, no. This is not 10th class, this is not 9th class. This is not intermediate. This is not something else. This is a real sense. So when we understand this, what happens is our vision of seeing things is totally different. It is not the same thing which we are pursuing. That is what exactly we are discussing in this particular slogan. Shloka number 20, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, if you really study, that gives a complete synopsis of the soul.
Ah,
That means, dear devotee, if
no,
you have
no.
any problem, it is not a problem. Are, Bapra, you exist eternally.
Okay.
There's a problem coming that is only to your body or to some other thing.
No.
For example, there's a car problem. Car met with an accident.
Okay.
Some saved. Car, you are saved means nobody, nothing will happen to you. Your body is also saved.
Okay.
The car is has to be towed. Now the person who is been through that, now that person is profusely lamenting. Arey, baapre, what happened to me? What is this? My car, it's a new car, Tesla, 60K. I didn't even pay my full loan to this car. Now the other, on top of other thing, I did not renew my car insurance also. Actually, yesterday.
Okay.
I wanted to do today, but somehow I did not do it. That means I have to pay everything. No, for the reason this Jiva is actually lamenting. No, when we actually read this, let me read this again. For the soul, there is neither birth nor death. At any time, he has not come into being, does not come into being, will not come into being. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, and primeval. He is not staying when the body is. 10 things Krishna is telling in this one shloka. न जायते यदेव कदाचन नायम भूत्वा भावितवाना भूया अजो नित्यं शाश्वतोऽयं पुरातो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. You're changing. You're just changing. There's a problem to that. But the situation which I just told, completely lamenting because my money is gone. $60,000. It's gone. Because my car, Tesla, brand new. Y model or X model. I don't remember the exact model numbers anymore. But that's okay. That X model or Y model, 60K or 70K. No, it's gone. This Jiva is actually lamenting. For 1 week, 10 days is actually profusely. He's not even working also. Now, is that lamentation a light lamentation? No, if you actually ask me, his lamentation is real. But the source of lamentation is illusion. The lamentation is correct only. I'll give another example. There's a child is actually profusely crying. He wants a doll. Please understand. This is very important, very scientific. The child, he has a doll, he's crying. Now you come as a father, you see the child. Arey baapre, a useless doll, you're crying. You might feel like that. But the child, to him, the doll is too much. It's everything for him. It's like his counterpart. He cannot see his doll anymore. Somehow the elder brother has hidden the doll. So what is that? Is crying, is it not true? It is actually true. Likewise, the adult person is actually crying for his lost Tesla. That is also true. Both are true. But if you actually see the source of it, that is an illusion. But they are really feeling for that. How? Are it's coming, he's crying, really crying. He's not putting glycerin to cry. He's really crying for that. But the object is incorrect because he's not pointing to the right source. Now, after assessing this, the devotees, at every instance of our life, when we connect to our roots, don't we think that the illusion which we carry life after life, is completely removed? It is removed from our life. Removed means removed, fully removed. That's how great this truth is. That's how great the process of Krishna consciousness is. It completely removes the sadhaka from unwanted, unnecessary weeds from his life. Then his source of absorption will be kept in such a way that no matter what happens to his life, Every instance is a stepping, so is a stepping. He's stepping, he's climbing the ladder. He's making advancement in science of Krishna consciousness. The problems are coming, yes, he embraces those problems. Difficulties are coming, yes, he embraces those difficulties. The other person opinion is seems to be higher. No, no, no. Give the other person opinion only. Yes. You know, dear devotees, I'll tell you something. If you begin giving acceptance to other person's opinions, you know what happens? The first thing which happens in your consciousness is you will have peace of time so that you can actually be absorbed in your Krishna consciousness. And you can do your given services very nicely. Because what you're doing, you're not pulling the choices, rather you're giving them. In giving, there is happiness. It can be smallest of the smallest thing. There's a chocolate which is made by devotees. No, I'm not telling that we should eat chocolates. Devotees somehow they prepare without any so-called things which are there in chocolates. These days the chocolates even have pig gelatin. Every chocolate has a gelatin. Prabhu, gelatin means it's the extract of pig. Hare Krishna. America is so advanced that they have so much heaps of bones of all these animals. So they don't know what to do. No, they have to crush it. They cannot put it in the garbage. They said, let us use this because it has a lot of vitamins. They feel that it has a lot of strength in it. The so-called science. So what they do is they begin adding those gelatin into the chocolates. Oh, already our consciousness, because we all came from pig also. So we have consciousness which is carried by pig also. So now what is happening is already we carry some consciousness from that. Now by eating these so-called chocolates, the consciousness is actually elevated. Or the dormant state of pig consciousness is enhanced. Oh, that's why the Acharya says, don't do that. That's why Prabhupada, when during the time of Prabhupada, these things were not there, but Prabhupada still condemned it because he knows what's going to happen in the future. So now it's very clear that we shouldn't eat any of those things. So this understanding, when we have, our life is the most sublime. That what is, just think about this instruction which we are trying to discuss today. This instruction is not something ordinary. Please understand this. Because all the problems which we face in our life is first thing is we don't understand who the spiritual master and the acharyas are. The second most important thing is we don't understand who we are. So when we really understand who we are, there's no problem to anything actually. That means no matter what happens to anyone, he should not lament to anything in his life. There's no question of lamentation actually. Actually, lamentation, Vaishnava acharyas, they see that lamentation is kind of a waste of time. Lamentation from a material perspective. Now they also lament for spiritual upliftment. That is actually greatest strength. Stating that I'm not a devotee. I don't know what Krishna consciousness is. I'm a lowly person. I cannot understand anything. My spiritual master says I'm a fool. For this, when we begin to lament, then what happens is, then the real jewel which are there, which are kept in these purports, which we are discussing, that real jewel is perceived to us. I will tell you something. It's a very interesting example. One day Indraji he's seeing a Brahmana. practicing nice sadhana, he does nice meditation, he does nice practice of spirituality. She somehow want to obstruct him because he's thinking that this person might be my counterpart. He might be, he might take over my position. Or this is what generally happens when we are attached to something in this world. When a similar person comes, the person who is there with that particular position, if he is attached to that, he feels insecure. The way he does his work is changed because earlier he was doing kind of selfless. It is not fully selfless. Earlier he was doing kind of selfless, but the moment this situation came, he's in a total anxiety. This is what exactly happened in Ramayana, where Lord Ramachandra will send Hanumanji. He says to Hanumanji, see how Bharat Maharaj is reacting through my presence. I am not coming yet. You go and check. If he is, you can actually feel if he is not happy seeing my presence in Ayodhya, I will not come. Because he's already ruling there. Just see the sensitivity of the Supreme Lord. He doesn't want to interfere in anyone's business. Please understand here. That is the whole point why we are here eternally. Continuously we are here in this world. Because the Lord is not interfering into our business. Please understand. Only the spiritual master who comes into our life, he will actually intervene into our business. Because if even he is not interfering into our business, means it means that we are lost actually. So likewise, when Hanumanji would go to Bharat Maharaj and conveys this message, Bharat Maharaj was so happy. He was joyful. Just like that cobbler was very joyful, hearing from Narad Muni that the Supreme Lord is threading an elephant through the eye of the needle. That cobbler was so joyful. Because Bharat Maharaj was so fully joyful. His happiness doesn't have any bounds. Now, seeing this consciousness, when Hanumanji expressed this to Lord Ramachandra, he was very happy. Now, he is the Supreme Lord, he knows everything. He wants to show the glories of his devotees. Not that Supreme Lord doesn't know. He's asking Hanumanji to go and find. He knows everything. You see, the glories of devotees comes through like this only, through the pastimes. The Lord will manifest those pastimes. Through those pastimes, the glories of those pure souls are revealed. Just like in our community, the glories of the spiritual masters are revealed through various pastimes which are actually happening. When we are actually situated or seeing those things, we'll understand, yes, yes, these are the glories of the spiritual master, these are the glories of the acharyas. How slowly one by one is actually manifesting. Tapodivyam putrakayana sattva. The tapasya, austerity, is the greatest blessing in our life. What is the sleeping? The sleeping, anyone can do this. But the austerity, tapasya, to learn Krishna conscious, to understand Krishna conscious, that's a great thing. That actually invokes the mercy. That actually invokes the mercy of the internal energy. Because we are not this. The soul cannot be burned or cannot be killed. That means no matter what happens, nothing will happen to you. Dear devotees, when a sadhaka is fully realized that he is not this body but a powerful spiritual and is part and parcel of the Lord, and when he engages in his given services. And then later on, when he really gets a difficult situation in his life through his body or through a relation or through office or through any other means, the sadhaka who has actually realized he will feel this as the greatest blessing in his life. Today, our spiritual master is actually sharing about this in the morning. That how the moment we realize that state, that I'm free from all of these things, and really a greatest calamity came into our life. That calamities are embraced by those Vaishnavas who are in that state. Now, this is a process. This we need to perceive. This we need to feel the presence. Their presence has to be felt in our consciousness. That's what Srila Prabhupada was being. When Srila Prabhupada was actually going to the West, he was going through a lot of difficulties. So many difficulties, heart attacks. If another time that heart is reacting that way, means he had to leave. Or he makes the prayer, oh my dear Lord, I don't know where I am. I'm in a difficult state. But that's okay. I only desire one thing. No matter which situation you keep me in, I should always remember your presence. And I should always feel that I am your part and parcel. And then do some tangible service. I should never forget these things. Or you can give me anything. It doesn't matter. But always give me this consciousness that I can always remember them. CD advocates. That means in what situation we are, what are we doing, what are we perceiving, doesn't matter. But what is our real consciousness, for whom we are dealing, for whom we are working, for whom we are leading our life. If we have that clarity, it's the greatest benediction in our life. Please understand this. Hanumanji had a lot of difficulties. Srila Prabhupada had a lot of difficulties. But what did they do? Hanumanji, when he was in Lanka, he was actually trying to figure out where Mother Sita is. He had to go to different places. He had to see different people. He had to go to those places where he never went in his life. He had to go to those situations where he has never met, never seen. Is it not difficult? It's a difficult. He want to find Mother Sita, but he's unable to find. It's a lot of trauma which is going in his heart. But still he never gave up. At a place, a mountain told him to rest for some time. He says, no, I'm in a mission. I'm in a mission of a master. How can I take rest? How can I stop? He never stopped anywhere. And even though after finding Mother Sita also, his way of expressing that is also totally different. For example, let's say if a devotee did some service, but the devotee is so down to earth that through his words, through his actions, it's never felt that this devotee is really is trying to show up something. Is that not a beautiful quality within a devotee? That means the devotee has done so much service, but is so grounded. No, the moment we see that kind of devotees, it's a great hope or shelter for us to actually cultivate that. Is it not? It is. And we put our head down because we didn't do any services. These devotees have done so much services, but they're still grounded. We don't do any services, but we are elated. That means where is that consciousness? If the consciousness is with Guru Sadhu Shastra, they will be grounded, just like Hanumanji, just like Srila Prabhupada, just like the spiritual master. By seeing them, we feel that, oh, this is what we need to develop. They're totally grounded. I remember, I've never seen my spiritual master, instructing spiritual master, proclaiming that I'm a devotee. I've never seen him. Neither through his actions. That's a that's a great sign which is telling to every one of us that this is what we need to cultivate. Because if you are a soul, part and parcel of the Lord, then we don't need any of these things, any of these extra outside respect or extra outside acceptance, extra outside appreciations. We don't need. If they do that, we accept it and give it back to our acharyas. As simple as that.
Okay.
Because what are they? The powerful solution.
Okay.
Heart and parcel of the Lord. Our perception or vision is totally different. Our analysis is totally different.
I'm actually working on that.
Our way of dealing things is totally different. Is there not something special?
Yeah, by Monday I'll give you proof.
It is. This
Okay,
we need to pursue.
for textbooks from nursery to fifth.
So the more we
now-
understand this,
okay, share that.
the
But
more we
that I
get the
have already
clarity.
taken. Yes.
Bhakti is the other one.
Okay.
You have to pursue. You have to see those persons.
No, that should not
For
be
example, if a
charged.
devotee is
The
not,
last time
not
they
practicing
charged, but
so much,
not given it.
we should be neutral. We should not take inspiration. We are neutral, we're not judging. We're neutral. That's not our business. There is always a gray area. Please understand. There's always gray area. If you see any of those things, you see that, oh, my dear Lord, it is through my incorrect consciousness I'm seeing this. But let me be neutral. I don't want to put anyone down or judge anyone. But if there is an opportunity for us to appreciate a devotee, then we should very nicely appreciate a devotee. We should not put a full stop for that. If other devotees appreciating us, we should put our head down. And then simply in our heart and heart, we should give it to our spiritual master. Because we cannot, the devotees, one thing which we cannot hold is appreciations. Why we cannot hold appreciations? Because the moment we begin holding those appreciations, what happens is the heart, which is filled with pride, that ignorance. Please understand. Because for everything, whatever you keep, you get something. In any way. Let's say in your heart, you keep something, you get something. For example, if we actually accept those appreciations independently, then what is happening is pride is developing in the heart. Because what happens is whatever you hear, whatever it goes into the consciousness. Give me 1 second. I'll give Hare Krishna. You can hear me okay? Amma, can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhu, వినిపిస్తుంది. We can hear.
Yes. So, the appreciations, when we have an opportunity to appreciate pure souls, we should not hesitate. We should do it. But when we begin, when some other devotees are appreciating us, when we begin accepting those appreciation, what happens is pride and arrogance comes into our consciousness. Why am I telling this? Because this is a very subtle element. Appreciations, they matter. Because what is an appreciation? Appreciation is a process where other devotee is seeing good in another devotee, and then is appreciating those good qualities. He is genuinely appreciating. But when the devotee who's on the receiving end, if he is completely taking shelter of the spiritual master and the Lord, what happens is he will never forget them, because he will understand his previous conditioning, which is, yes, no doubt that is unnatural, but that is the natural state which he was in before. That natural state which he was carrying before, that is technically his self-identity up until he met a pure soul in his life. Right? Up until the sadhaka meeting pure soul, he is in that particular state. So when he remembers that, all the appreciations, genuinely, if a devotee is doing, what he will do is he will carry forward that to his authorities, to his spiritual master. So when he does that, the heart becomes light. The heart will be softer to the other devotee also, who appreciate it. But when we take the process from an impersonal way, what happens is, we might have heard that appreciation should not be taken. So generally what happens is, anger comes into our consciousness. Because the other devotee, we don't see him in the way which we are supposed to see. And then we say that, oh, don't do this, don't do this. I cannot accept this. It's all Maya. And then they stop. So it's trying to see here the difference. Appreciations are coming. Now, how the appreciations have to be taken is very, very important. Dear devotees, we should actually give importance to the other person. Please understand. We are not superior here. We should give importance to the other person. Vaishnavas, they give importance to ant also. When they're pouring some water, if they see an ant, they'll actually remove the ant and then pour the water. Because they know ant cannot survive, cannot exist. That means if the Vaishnavas are giving importance to ant, means that what to speak of giving importance to the other person. They give full importance to the other person. That is what we have to do. Should take care of them also. Even though they say that you are not taking care of us, still we should take care of them. So that is very, very important. But children might say, oh, mother, father, you're not taking care of me. That's okay. Still we have to take care of them. We don't get bogged down that, oh, I've done so much, but children, they're not understanding what I've done. No, you should not take it in that way. We should take in the way how our acharyas have done. I did not do anything, but Srila Prabhupada, my spiritual master, they gave so much. Can't I do it for my children? My own children. I'm not doing it for anyone else also. Just at least for my own children. That becomes a simple-hearted devotee. Devotee means simple heart only. Devotee means he's not complicating himself in so many ways. He's simple, genuinely accepting the process. He's not looking for any name and fame. Dhana na dhanam na jhanam na sundarim kavitam va jagadeshakam. Because he knows, he understands this material world is itself is pale. You don't find any real relationships here. No matter how much you try to find, you'll not find any real relationships. Real relationship is the spiritual plane. You know how a relationship in the material world is enhanced? If that relationship is dealing with Guru Sadhu Shastra, then only that relationship is enhanced. That means you come together to discuss about Krishna consciousness, to discuss about the services of Krishna consciousness. That is how you develop relationship. There is no other way to develop relationship. Can we develop relationship with these bodies? No, we cannot because it is temporary. Can we develop relationship with so-called relationship by coming more and more closer? More and more closer, what happens? When they come more and more closer, they try to see the faults of the others. Because generally, a conditioned soul will see the faults in others because that's what is there in his consciousness. He'll see faults in others and then he'll tell, you are not doing this, you are not doing this. She will also do this, she will also repeat the same thing. She is not an exception. The husband is telling wife, you are not this, you are not this. The wife will also tell, you are not this, you are not this. Then where is the respect? Where is the mutual understanding? For example, even wife is telling or a husband is telling, the other person should not tell. Please understand. Other person should not tell. Because with whom we are fighting there? What is Prabhupada's message today? Everyone is fighting for this, that, so many other things. To whom we are fighting actually? We are not fighting. For what we are fighting? Let's say husband and wife are fighting. Who is husband? Who is wife? Which husband? Which wife? किधर से आया? No. There's no sustenance here. If there's no sustenance here, then why are we so much worried here? You have to do what you have to do. That's what we discussed yesterday also. Dharma, we should do our dharma nicely. You should understand it, do it nicely, and then move forward. That's what we have to do. No, we cannot put all these so-called full stops here. Though this is not right, this is not right. It leads to quarrel. You know what is the reason of quarrel? If either one side or both sides of the parties want something else other than Krishna, that is the source of all. If the person is expecting some name fame, that is against Krishna. He doesn't want Krishna, he wants something else. If that is not getting, then he'll do politics to get that. That means he'll put with this word here, that word there. He'll defame one person. He'll put this person down, that person down. This exactly happens in this material world. Material world means everyone wants to use the other person. It's like a plastic bag. You use and then throw it off. You don't care where it goes. That's how it is. Your purpose is fulfilled now. My purpose is fulfilled. I carried something. Now it is of now this bag is no use. I just throw it. That's how relationships in this world are also. Now you don't say that, oh Prabhu, for you that might happen. No, it happens to everyone. So this is material world. It doesn't have any existence here. And we should realize that. If we realize this, you'll be the most happiest person in this world because you know where is the real relation. And through that real relation, you see all of these relation as part of that relation. This is called as Mame Vamsu. This is called as you're a powerful spirit soul, part and parcel of the Lord. You're not an individual spirit soul which doesn't have any relationship with the Lord. You are that individual spirit soul which has an eternal relationship with the Lord. And that comes through bhakti. And that bhakti has to be given to us. Hope you are understand. Hare Krishna. I think I'll stop here because I have next assignment today. I have to leave. Anyone would like to add anything, share anything quickly? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Amma Sheetal, please tell.
So, so I understand about the Kama Krodha, but can you please elaborate more on Mada and Matsya? I didn't understand what is that.
Okay. There's lust, greed, anger, envy, false ego, pride. Madha, false ego and pride. We'll discuss. Please continue to hear daily. Sheetal Mataji and Sushilpa Mataji, add Mataji in our group where she can see proper messages.
All right. Thank you so much, sir.
As I do not have Mataji's phone number, you add her on the group so that she can see daily messages. Mataji, please come join every day because we would never understand this truth unless and until we hear. That too
Yeah.
through
Yeah,
otherwise
sure. Sure, Prabhuji. I only realized that all these things we have to overcome. So I'm just working on it. This main things. So if I understand it, then I can work more on it. Thank you
please
so much, Prabhuji. And your the clarification and giving the examples are really working. And a big burden was released yesterday, and I was feeling so blessed and so good. The yesterday went very good when you give me the clarity for what is actually the karma means. And so that's the reason I also like to understand the other aspects in a brief description.
definitely.
Yeah, thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Please continue hearing. All the best. Hare Krishna. Thank you. All right. Thank you all very much. We'll continue our discussion tomorrow. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. No problem.
Hare Krishna, Baldev Sweta. Hare Krishna. Nice seeing you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so very
Hare
much.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees.
Yeah,
Srila Prabhupada ki- Yes,
Let us do a
Prabhu.
quick frame dhoni. Jang Vishnu Pada Paramahansa Parichasya Ashtatara Shata Sisimat Avachana Bhakti Vishnu Prabhupada ki joy.
Jai.
Pada Parivajya Paramahansa Parichasya Ashtatara Shata Sisi Bhakti Shianto Maharaj ki joy.
Jai.
Anantagati Vaishnav Bindu ki joy.
Jai.
Namatu Shiro Haridas Thakur ki joy. Prem se Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Bindu ki joy.
Jai.
जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की जय गंगा माई की जय जमुना माई की जय
Jai.
भक्ति देवी की जय तुलसी देवी की जय वृंदावन धाम की जय मायापुर धाम की जय द्वारका धाम की जय जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय ऑल ग्रेट assembled devotees हरे कृष्ण ऑल ग्रेट assembled devotees हरे कृष्ण ऑल ग्रेट assembled हरे कृष्ण all grace to Guru and Gauranga हरे कृष्ण धन्यवाद
Vanchakalpatarubhasya kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavabhyo namo namaः. Srila
हरे
Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Prabhu.
हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna.